Hello everyone, this is Joseph. Welcome back to JN Unique Designs. And this is part two of my Trellis cards that I promised you. We'll be playing with a different idea here. I have a couple of different ones. This one is probably the most common of the three cards for Trellis ideas. This one is just horizontal bars. If you haven't seen my last video on Trellis cards, I will link it right up here. And I hope you like it. Please do like and subscribe to my channel. It is important that to me that you do like and subscribe and comment down below if you like this video because it helps me get more creative with you. So please do like and subscribe to this video or to my channel. I greatly appreciate you doing that. So before we begin, I'm going to show you real quick at a distance. Keyword is at a distance. I will hold up a card that is being shown as my demo for the new releases. So it's just a quick, very quick sneak peek. So let me show you what this looks like at a distance. There's that for you. I'll go here and just to show you what it looks like. Okay, so there's that, and I just wanted to show you that's the Trellis card that we'll be making tonight, but we'll be making it using some different florals than what you were seeing on that card. The reason why I showed you just a brief snippet is because I want to save the real florals for something more special. So, with all due respect, let's go ahead and turn the camera around, and we'll get started. As I mentioned to you before, this is going to be part two of my Trellis cards. And what I had already done was I took some cardstock here from the Christmas set from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I went ahead and I already cut it. Same idea as the last one. Instead of 5x7, like the last card, what I ended up doing was I cut a card 5 inches by 8 inches, and I scored the top with 1 inch. And then I scored it and I folded it over. So that's what we have here. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take some strips here of 7 inches length by 1/2 inch wide, and I'm going to take some glue, and I'm just going to place some glue here on the end here, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and set it off into the card. What I'm doing is I'm putting 1/2 inch off here on the edge, because what I want it to do is I want it to look like these are just support beams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this up right against the edge here, and I'm going to hold this down just like that. And for a quick second, a couple of seconds, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to place it about 1/2 inch off there, and I'm going to hold it off to a couple inches there, just like that. That looks pretty even to me, right? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pieces of paper again. What I did was I cut strips of paper. These are bars here that are 5 inches by 1 inch, so 5 inches wide by 1 inch here. What I've done is I've already pre-cut these because I wanted to save some time in doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up. What I've noticed that I've done is if I put a little bit of a gap on each, I should be able to put the glue in right there just fine and not have an issue. I am using Lineco Neutral pH glue. I've talked about Lineco Neutral pH multiple times. And what I'm going to do that's differently this time is the next trellis is going to be right underneath. It's going to be about the same, but same distance between the two there. But you notice what I did was I put it right underneath the support. The reason for that is it gives it a little bit more dimension. And so what I'm doing is I'm placing that there, and then I'm taking some glue here, and I'm going to place it right in there. Hold that glue. That's what I'm doing. Just like that. Okay, make sure that I don't get any glue down there. And then the third trellis, I'm going to go ahead and place some glue here. I already know where it's going to approximately be, so I'm just going to, as you can see, I only put a dab of glue. Let me see if I can zoom in so you can see that. Let's do this. There we go. See how much glue I put on there? It's not very much. Let me see here. There, it's not very much glue. And I'm going to go ahead and put this trellis here about the same distance. Right there. And hold it down for a quick second until it sticks. And then I'm going to take my next pieces is going to go down below. Going to be the same piece there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this off to the side. Just like this. Let's see here. Just like that. Place a little bit of glue here. Just a dab of glue is all it takes to hold it all in place. See what I've done there? And then my last piece of the trellis, I'm going to place it right on top here. Glue there, and I'm going to place it right on top. And that should do it for the top of my trellis. So there we go. Make sure that all the pieces are stuck down before you lift up the card. I'm just going to hold the glue a little bit, make sure it's stuck. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this off like this to dry. See? And then what I'll do is let me zoom out so you can see. So let me zoom out there. There we go. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and hold these down just for a little bit to make sure that it's good to go. I'm going to take a piece of my Elizabeth Craft Designs here release sheet, or actually just any release sheet. This is just a plain release sheet. I'm going to place this right down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this piece alone first, this top piece here. And what I thought I was going to do is I was going to create, I'm going to place like a silver panel somewhere in here. What I want to do is I want to take some foam dots though. So using some foam dots that I have here, any specific foam dots would work for you. You don't have to use this kind, but if you happen to have the Stampin' Up! Foam dots, then feel free to use it. I'm going to use 4 pieces there, set that aside, and then peel off the release sheet on top. And I'm going to place this piece here, which is from Annette Green's new release. Let me grab the packaging and I can show you. This is from this set here, which is the Postage Stamp from Annette Green from Everyday Elements. You get quite a few different squares and postages, but that's what I used. And I used the medium one there. It comes with that square, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place that right in the middle. I'm going to take a couple more of these foam dots. I'm all about three-dimensioning, making things three-dimensional, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing here. So, and let's see here. Continue. I'll place this right in the middle here. Just like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this card in half, and then with that release sheet in the middle, just to keep my workspace a little bit more condensed for you to see. I'm going to use Florals number 2. I believe that's Florals number 2 from Elizabeth Craft Designs. Let's see here. I will look it up since I didn't have this plan. Let me a second here. I do have my app here from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and Let me see here just to make sure I'm not giving you the wrong ones. That is Florals number 2. I'm going to use Florals number 2. I'm using all the pieces. I've already pre-made some here, but I will be making 2 with you. Set that aside for a moment. So Florals 2, this is the largest one and the second largest one. I'm going to go ahead and take a piece, or a foam brush here, a dauber here, and I'm going to use a color called Morning Mist from VersaFine Clear. All I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt this at an angle, and what I'm doing is I'm just getting the edge, as you can see. I don't want my florals to fully be colored in gray. Gray is kind of a nice color, but sometimes if you put too much gray, I think it can be pretty depressing. So I'm just going to color the edge by putting it at an angle. By putting my brush at an angle, what I'm doing is I'm only getting the edges, as you can see there. See how simple that was? And easy to color. I have some rock candy stamens here from Heartfelt Creations. These are just some things, if you have any type of stamens, it doesn't have to be this Heartfelt Creation one. But what I like to do is I take it, I fold it in half, and I twist these ones together to make that end a little bit tighter. As you can see, I went ahead and made it tight. And then I'm going to pull my little pad, my shaping pad here. This is just a Sizzix shaping pad and the Sizzix ball stylus, nothing fancy. I'm going to turn this over, and I'm just going to shape it just a little bit like that. And then I'll turn it over, and I'll press down. So I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to go ahead and shape this edge here in a variety of different ways. Just like that. And I noticed that this didn't get cut because I don't know why. So I'm going to do this, shape it, turn it over, and press down right in the middle. Just like that. And if this doesn't work, I have my golf tool. This is going to be the medium golf tool here, of which I just lost the other one. Let me reassess here. Move my mat back to the center. I use my my third largest golf tool here, and all I do is I press down the middle just very gently to enlarge that hole just a tad bit. By enlarging that hole, it makes it a lot easier to put your stamens in there. So that's all I'm doing. Place that in there, and then I pull my handy dandy glue gun here from Dremel out. And if you are still wondering where I got that, I got it from Home Depot hardware store. And you see how easy that was to put that in there? There we have that floral with a red there. Now that it's green, when it's solid green like that, that means it's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and squeeze it to inject a little bit of glue around the edge here. Just as simple as that. Like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and place the other stamens through the other florals here and twist it so it's offset while the glue is wet. Just like that. Just like that. See? And then I'll take my Elizabeth Craft Design scissors, trim off the tail here. I've always just trimmed off the tail because I don't need it to intrude in my design. So I'll do this. And I'll set my pad aside here. Now I'll pull my card back in. So I have a general idea of what I wanted to do. I'm going to place that little bit of glue right in the middle there. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to start off by putting it right on this corner. And I'll take my next largest one. Put some glue on there. And I'm going to go ahead and line this right here. Line it right there. Just something like that, simple. And I'm going to line this one right on top of this trellis here. The reason why I'm making it this way is because you know, when garden designers have always typically have said you want odd number of flowers. You don't want an even number because it just doesn't match very well. So I'll place that right there. Look at that. Look at that design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over just a tad bit. And then what I did was that Christmas paper from Elizabeth Craft Designs. There was a green sheet, as you can see the back of the paper here. I went ahead and I saw a solid green on one side. So I went ahead and cut it out of that, cut my leaves out of that solid green. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to add a little bit of color to it. I have a VersaFine Clair here that is called Shady Lanes. And I'm going to use my brushes here. And I'm just going to give it a little bit more color depth dimension, as you can see. Very simple. I'm just brushing it on. But by doing it that way, it gives it a little bit more dimension when I shape the leaves. These leaves are from the Maple Leaves collection, so not necessarily Florals number 2. So as you know, when I create projects, I like to mix and match all of my florals. I like to mix and match everything that I can to make sure that things are working good. So that is what I am doing here. So I'm going to do this. So I'm going to color as much as I can with those. As you can see, my Dremel has not dripped one bit. I love it. No hot glue gun drips. Bless you. Excuse me. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that pad in. I accidentally blew that, so I'll take the leaves, pull my pad in here. I'm going to flip the leaves upside down, and all I'm doing is I'm just going around real quick with the largest ball stylus. As you can see, I'm just going around with the largest ball stylus. And then in a little bit here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to flip the ball stylus around, and I'm going to indent it. This is a quick and easy way of shaping leaves. If you're intimidated by shaping florals and leaves, don't be. Because I have videos that I've shown you how to make flat florals, layering florals with these. I have videos out there. So, I mean, they're easy. They're fun. You know, and then what I do is I flip it over and I'll turn the ball stylus around and I'll put it right in the middle there. You see? Now you have some dimension. Take that and right where the stamen is, press down right there. Now you have some nice dimension for your leaves. Look how easy that was. And that's all I want you to do is don't be intimidated by it because these leaves are so easy and these florals are so easy to do. So do that. Do that. See? Now I have all of my maple leaves and all of my florals. Alright, set this aside. I'm going to take some maple leaves here and I'm going to start layering them into my florals just to see what they look like first. So what I want to do is I want to make sure this is nice and large and full. So what I'm filling in is I want to fill in around the large florals first. And then I'm going to take the smaller ones and I'm going to put it right on the edge here. So, just like that. I think like that. I might do some more here. And some more, maybe right here. Just like that. See? Now my florals look pretty full. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my hot glue gun and I'm going to place a dauber of glue right on the back of these leaves. And all I'm doing is I'm going in here and I'm placing it down and let it stick. Just like that. Right. like that. And if you have fillers, anything that are filler type, such as I have these fillers I've had given to me a long time ago, um, and I'll probably end up putting some fillers in there just to give it a little bit more color. But I want to show you what you don't have to put fillers. I do because I want it to look nice and full. So, I can take these fillers that I have here, and I might stick a few of those berry branches in there. So let me grab some of those. I wasn't prepared, so let me grab some of those. I'll be right back. I think I want to do yellow fillers. They look cool. So I have yellow fillers. These are my yellow fillers here that were given to me a long time ago. And like I said, you don't have to go out and buy anything. Just use anything that you have in your stock. I have tons of these in my stash because a really, really good friend gave me these. So what I do is I take off the excess pieces or that fluffy thing. I don't like that fluffy thing. And I take my scissors and I cut off the stem just a tad bit, just to make sure that these stems don't show on my florals. They're just wire. And then what I do is I take them and I fill them in on the florals. And they give a pop of color. You can buy things like this at Hobby Lobby, at Michael's if you like, Joann's, any of the craft stores. They will have them. So what I do is I'm going to place it right there. So any craft stores, pre-made floral fillers. You kind of have to use your imagination on these, because you can use anything you like for these. It doesn't have to be a specific one or another. So just like that. See? Now my floral card is nice and full. That's my trellis card there. I'm going to go ahead and take one of my beams here, like this. And what I'm going to do is, since I covered that up, which I wasn't intending on doing, I might add a bird to it. I might not. We'll see. This is one of Annette Green's. I forgot her name. I'm sorry. And I might add it to there. If not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of white here. I might just run in here. Kind of have it like this so it looks a little bit cleaner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this to repair that damage. So I know for a fact it's going to be that big. I'm going to tear that piece off here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another card and I'm going to say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say right here, I love you. That would be an appropriate card. And I'm going to take that gray that we used to do the flowers, which is that morning mist. And I'm going to stamp that right up here. Like that. Perfect. And I'm going to take some glue, place some on the back here, just as such. And then I'm going to slide that right in there. Slide it right in there. Just like that. See? Just like that. And now it says, I love you. You can kind of see it behind this one leaf here, which I might take apart just to see. I might just have to trim that. Yeah. I'll trim that off. There we go. Nobody had to see that, so I'll trim that off. So it has I love you right there. What else can I add there? I do have a couple of sentiments that I might add. But look at what happens when you pull that release sheet out. Your trellis card on the back looks good. There's no major massive glue there. But look at that, how that stands up. See all the markings in there? How neat that card is. So, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to spend a little bit of time sharing with you my part 2 of my trellis cards. I might take some, what do you call it? Dots. I do have some dots here. I might, let's see, add some of that. I have a whole entire container full of different beads. Let's do this. Add a few of those on there. Add 3 in there. Give it some dimension. Give it some color. So I'm gonna take my blue here, and I might do 2 dots here, because I'm gonna add 2 of these gems to that spot. Like that. You might add one there. You know, I don't know if I like that one there. I might add it out here. No. Yeah? Yeah. Let's just add it out here. Like that. Alrighty. That's my trellis card. That's card number 2. Let's turn the camera around. So everyone, thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is card number 2. You can see how nifty that looks. Look how great that card looks. So much fun. And you can create all of your 3D florals on there. And it's quite flat. You can see it's not very big. But all of your 3D florals you can place right onto these cards. And the trellis cards, as you can see, with the gaps and everything. Let me turn that around. You see the gaps? It looks like a beautiful card. So, thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe to this video. Like and subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you do like this video. It just gives me a general idea of what you're liking. And I can make more of it. So stay tuned and join me next time for card number 3, which is a fun, very fun trellis card. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining. Bye.